almost like me.
Are we live? Tell me when we're live, because I'm going crazy.
Okay, we're live.
Woo! Yo, what's up? How we doing, babies? We are having massive technical difficulties. Oh, Lord, how are we doing on this Wednesday grind? Woo!
All right. We're on everywhere. Joy said, we saw you guys and we couldn't get on. I was having major Wi-Fi problems. We're here. It's cool. Now we're on.
Middle school loser now with integrity. How are we doing this wonderful Wednesday evening? How are we doing? Who we got? We got Elkie in the house, Laura's in the house, Zori's in the house, Alexandra, we miss you too. Who else we got? How do you say? Who's that?
My cousin. A cousin of mine. Nugi Kodo is my cousin. Anything Kodo is my cousin.
I swear to God, you got 1,000 cousins.
All Kodos are my cousins.
You guys must be taking over. Let's get the party started. You got that right. How are we doing this wonderful evening, everybody? Are you guys having a blessed week? We've got nothing but rain. It was raining so hard at my house today that it was going sideways and leaking through the window. Like it was.
Oh my God!
So I had to take a pan.
And I was going to get us went up there.
I had to put a pan underneath the window. So bad. So, anyways, we've been getting a lot of rain. Is everybody? Hey,
Mimi. Mimi, what's up?
What's up, Mimi? I want to share real quick too. You know how proud I am of our group and our new familia and the master class that we just did this last couple days. It was an absolute joy and treat to serve the people that were there as well as my partners. I think it went really well, and I think we got a lot of good stuff coming. And I just, let me introduce myself for those that don't know me. Most of you do. My name is Raymond Wright. I'm the founder of Right Way Leadership Transformational Coaching. And you already know I am your motivator. I am your inspirator. But most importantly, I am your transformator, because my goal is to give you all the tools, all the resources, all the knowledge that you can get from where you're at to where you want to go in the future, and to live the life that you've always wanted. And that's why I'm here, to serve your needs. And with that, before I let Sarai introduce herself, what I want you guys to know, like, I know I haven't been coming a lot lately, but there's a lot of projects that are going on right now. And as you guys know, sometimes you got to take a step back, and we talked about leveling up. So right now I'm in that not only one level up, I'm trying to quadruple it up. Like, it's time to really get this thing going in the right, so we can get all the right technical lightings and microphones and all that stuff, so we can really start doing this thing in a big way. So with that, you guys already know Professor Sarai.
Hello, everyone. This is Sarai, Sarai Nammur. I'm a licensed mental health counselor in Florida and the founder of Circle of Champions Worldwide, where you guys, a lot of you are part of. And hello, welcome everyone. We had so much fun this weekend with our masterclass. All of you that were in there, I just felt like it was so powerful. It was so cool to see everyone just really level up. And then I've been talking to people afterwards, and people are actually taking radical action, which is like super duper cool. Hey, Lori. What's up? Lori was basically our entire masterclass is in live. They're all here right now as we speak. So today we're going to talk about the power of our thoughts. And why don't you guys tell us, like, what did you learn in the masterclass about your thoughts? What did you notice about your thoughts and the power that your thoughts have, like for the good and for the bad? Let's talk a little bit about that. Or what are you doing, Raymond? Why are you on your phone if we're on the live?
I'm trying to share it, actually, and I'm just, why are you calling me out like that?
It's like you're on your phone. All right. So anyway, I will talk about what we're gonna talk about. You don't even get to talk.
Oh, here we go. We're not gonna start already.
We're gonna start already.
Who's up?
We're gonna start fighting from
Who's
now. Apparently, that's the most interesting part of our life is us fighting.
No, I wasn't fighting. I was usually, you know what usually do? Usually you say, "Are you sharing it? Are you sharing it? Are you sharing it?" So I'm actually trying to share it, and now you're yelling at me for trying to share it.
Oh wow, what an exaggerator. Yelling? Really? Yelling?
I felt like I was just violated.
Violated? Violated? Yelling and violated? Look at those intense
I felt like I was violated.
Look at the intense words.
Brother King is on here. I got a brother with me. Brother King. I felt like I just got violated.
Well, Elkie said, that's true, Raymond. Why are you on your phone? And Laura is defending. Laura's defending. She said that it's the other way around. Thank you, Laura.
No, I see. We can interpret that two different ways.
I know what it was. She's not defending.
No, we can interpret it two ways. I'm going to believe the side that I want to believe because that's mostly the right side.
Sure. Do that. You guys are too funny, like brother and sisters.
So oh my gosh. I'm the likable child though, just to let you guys know.
Whatever.
So how's your week so far? How is your week so far?
Mine?
No, the other person in our video.
Well, Lilith started school, which was non-school because it didn't start working until today. So we have to wake up every morning to find out we can't really go to school. So that has been a little whatever. And I actually started coming back to the office instead of home. So ever since coronavirus started, I just came back to the office, like in all these months. So that's a thing, being in the office. It has me focused, at least. How's your week been, Mr. Raymond?
My week is a typical Ray week.
Exhausting?
It's exhausting. My kids are here this week, so scrambling around. Michaela's soccer season starting finally. We got soccer season, so it seems like believe it or not, I don't. And you guys have to forgive me because I really don't watch the news. So everything going on. I don't pay much attention to it. So to me, it feels like things are going back to normal because soccer's starting, basketball. My son's out there. He's at the YMCA tonight. So things are opening back up. There's all these different rules and laws and new regulations, and you'll get beaten, locked up and arrested if you don't wear a mask, and you'll have to pay $100,000 fine if you smile without a mask on. So I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff going on, but I'm what?
I was cutting you off.
Yeah, you were cutting me off.
All this stuff is like a reminder that the year is ending. Like we really only have like 100 days left, I think.
But how much can get done and how much can get done in that time?
Yeah, how much could get done? So I was trying to get Raymond to do something with me for you guys to prepare for the new year, but let's see what he says about that. But anyway, we need to get our thoughts in order so that we could get it all together so we could start off the year, we need to start the year now, not on January 1st. We need to start the year now.
Well, no. We should have started the year last January 1st. Well, technically, because if I can recall, I think everybody here had some type of goals and some type of targets they were reaching at. So, this thing that I don't really speak of came through and kind of, this is what I always like to say. We're going to get into the power of thought, but we haven't been with you guys for 2 weeks. Last week, I apologize. We should have put a notice out there. That was not professional on Sarai's part, but I didn't.
There.
Oh, sorry. Oh, the other way. So I just, hey, what's up, Crystal? That's my boss lady right there. That's my girl right there. I love Crystal. She's awesome, man. She is absolutely awesome. But so I think we're all at a point, right?
Who's your other boss lady? On the first
We're,
boss lady.
actually, she was boss lady first.
Yeah, but now I'm the boss lady.
No, you just think you're the boss.
No, I am the boss. I am actually the boss.
So you're breaking my train of thought, man. Now I can't even remember what I was going to talk about.
All right, go. Just get go.
So now I'm all cattywampus. What's up, Stacy? Stacy's in the house too. Hey MJ. So what was we talking about?
The beginning of the year. The beginning of the year.
What year?
Oh gosh, that's how we're starting. The beginning of the year starts now.
Oh, yeah. So look, so today is September 2nd, right? Today is September 2nd. So I really truly believe, right, that most people can reflect on their journey of 2020. To me, I'd like to say 2020 has not been a smack in the face. 2020 has not been a huge step back for me. 2020 has brought a lot of issues to a lot of people. We start to talk about depression, anxiety, drug overdose, addiction, job loss, income loss. But we have all this, but I really do believe that if you look back hundreds of years ago, I mean, what they used to do and how they used to occupy their time and build homes and stay creative and do all this stuff. And, everybody was healthy and we look at ourselves now like we have to implement exercise into our lives. I mean, I bet you people back then would be laughing at us. Times are so no matter where you go through, I always talk about this, right? And we're going to get into the talk tonight, but the power of our thoughts is so important. But I want us to understand is the reason why I'm bringing this up, because we all had thoughts. How many people, like, say to yourself right now, how many people could honestly say, I had great vision going into 2020. 2020 was going to be my year. I was going to rock 2020 out. And then 2020 came, but I'm going to go through something because I want you guys to peep this, right? So we get into 2020. January passes. We start to hear about some rumbling and grumbling, right? February comes in, and then March hits us like a ton of weight, right? So this COVID thing hits us in March. And it sets the whole world back, not just the country, the world back. So now we have an excuse. But what did we do from January to March? What did we do before everything shut down? Most of us could probably,
Business as usual.
Businesses, we probably were not attacking the goals that we said we were going to do. And then we used COVID for the last 5 months as an excuse not to grow. When most of us have been given incredible time to sit back, reflect on our dreams, reflect on our imagination, reflect on what we want out of life, and then we didn't do anything with it, or we did minimal things. Instead, we wanted to go on Facebook and Instagram and complain and gripe and fight and argue and just really build this wall of frustration, anxiety, depression, and addiction, right? See, I'm not telling you that I have come out clean, but what I do know is it has been hard. But most of the things that are going on in my life are because of the thoughts. Thoughts are things, right? So we need to be careful. It's September 2nd. September, October, November, December. We got what did you say? We got 110 days or something like that left. I mean, we're in the last quarter. Do you know how much can be done in a quarter? Do you know how much momentum we can gain right now coming out of our masterclass? And we gotta circle back on that because I want to see how everybody's doing. You know what I mean? Because technically Monday they should have already had a game plan, right? Sarai?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, us too. All of us. We all should have had a game plan. We did. We did have a game plan.
Look at that whiteboard. Look at that right there. You see that whiteboard right there? You see that whiteboard right there?
Yeah, Raymond's like that commercial that says, I'm not just the owner, I'm the student. I'm also the student.
That's my whiteboard right there. You see my whiteboard right there? That's my whiteboard. I love my whiteboard.
There's his game plan, people. You saw his game plan?
Well, I got another whiteboard over there too. But the one on the back of me is that's why it's game time. It's game time, guys. It's game time. I want us all to be able to get together at the end of this and like man, we got Ireland coming up in October, next October. We're about 13 months from Ireland. I got a friend of mine now who's getting married in Aruba and now wants me to come to Aruba in June. Like, whew, man, we got some work to do. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm excited. You better take this mic from me because I'm all fired up now.
Ryan says, can you share some of your game plan with him?
Can you share? Well, yeah, I guess. Well, so basically, this is what I got, right? So on our podcast, me and Sarai's got a podcast. So I have some steps because honestly, me and Sarai are trying to take this podcast to the next level, right? Like I have visions in my head of our podcast being able to start getting up there on the charts, right? I want to get up there on the charts. So there's things that we need to do. You know, we need studio stuff. We need microphones. We need lighting. We need a platform that we can actually really start attacking this thing on. So that's one thing. Another thing that I really want to do is I have a couple courses, right? So I got one course that's going to be coming in the next couple weeks that I'm going to be releasing and offering to everybody. So that's one thing. But I got multiple courses up here. So you know, I got resources and tools that I'm going to be coming up with. So I'm really focusing on being able to apply some of the things that I've been talking about and now be able to give it to you guys so you can use it for your growth, right? So that's really where I'm at. That's kind of the other things. And then another thing that I'm doing is I'm creating a new daily habit sheet, right, for the things because I don't know. Some of us got massive goals. And if we don't have massive goals, then we need to get on top of it. We need to get on top of it. So I was listening to Tony Robbins yesterday and I punched my car radio. Like I really did. I punched it because I thought it was Tony. Like I was like, shut up, Tony, right? You guys ever have one of those moments where you feel like he said something straight to you and I just popped him and I wanted to shut him up and he kept talking anyway. So basically Tony Robbins said this. Tony Robbins said, what did he say? I went from $38,000 a year to $1 million in 12 months, right? Because he reset his standards. And I said, you know what? There is no reason, right? Now you got to have a plan, obviously, but there's no reason. I'm telling you, right, there's no reason why all of us cannot leave this next 4 months and incrementally raise our income, our relationships, and our thoughts going into 2021. Because my obstacle is by the year 2023, you know, my company will be up, running full flesh. I'll be serving and I'll be helping other people become coaches and mentors and things like that. And then I'll be helping other people in different areas. So in 2023, you know, I want to be traveling. And I want to be serving and I want to be helping other people create and get to where they want to go financially, relationship wise, spiritually wise, and all that stuff. So Ryan, that's just a little bit. That's just a little bit. So, you know, it's the power of thoughts. So all that to say it's the power of thoughts. Do you have it written down? Do you think about it daily? Do you read that mission statement that's so powerful to your heart it makes you cry, right? You guys that don't know my mission statement, what's my mission statement? It's to leave an eternal legacy that lives on through people's works, right? So I want to make an impression in your life that you will leave a legacy for this world, right? I just want to create. I want to create legacies through other people's legacies. That's what this is all about. So exactly. You got to talk because I'll talk. I'm about to take this show over.
I mean, I just let you go. I don't even know where to start. I was gonna say something, then you changed to something else, but I don't even know where to start at this point. But let me see. What I want to do, I guess I'll start with what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to let me see. I started last year I told everyone in the masterclass a little bit, like I started last year being like more true to myself and doing things that are more aligned with what I want out of my life and what I want to do. And I think ultimately what I want to do is do more of that. I want to do more of doing things aligned in a way that's aligned with me. And by being more and that's something for everyone to think about. Like the more we do things that please us, that make us happy, that feed our soul, the better we're going to be able to show up for others. And I noticed that, and I noticed that like last year, ever since I started doing that, I show up as a better human being, as a better, whatever you want to call it, better therapist, better friends, better everything. Then if I'm not doing things aligned with myself, then pretty much maybe I'm miserable, and then I'm not going to feel good, and I'm not going to want to do things. Like I'll just drop out of the world for 6 months or something. So I'm trying to really work on those things. Those are like little personal things that I want to work on. I don't want to keep doing the disappearing acts that I do, and I just want to do things. I'm trying really hard to not do that, and I'm trying.
You've done a good job. You've done a good job.
I have.
You've done a good job.
I have recently. It's been a struggle. It hasn't been easy. Like I literally have to be very conscious of that.
Did you just punch yourself in the head?
No, I just said I have to be very conscious of, that I don't want to like do the disappearing acts, like because it's in my nature and it's my habit to pull away and disappear. So guys, this is what I'm trying to work on, and I'm trying to work on like doing more and more of me, and that way, I just realized that it's if you think about it, and it might sound like a selfish thing, which I encourage a lot of my clients to be selfish in this way, but it's really not selfish when you fill your cup. The opposite is probably the wrong thing to do. It's like your cup first, and then you're going to show up very strong, and you're going to show up as your best self for others. And that's the best place to serve is when you show up as your best self. So that's I think if I had to like round it up, and I had to break it down into little pieces, but if I had to round it up, that's what I'm really aiming for, is just to do things that are really selfish. Let's call it selfish, like just things that I know that are going to be good for me, that are going to be good for my spirit, that are going to be good for my soul, that are going to make me happy. And in that sense, I feel like there's no time to waste for that. I wasted too much time on other stuff. Like, and it's just time for that. I don't know what you guys think. Stacy said exactly. You have to take care of you. Stacy, I already told Stacy about how I do my disappearing acts. And I really
do you use a cape?
I almost did a disappearing act today. Like the dog, like the video of where they drop the.
And then you run into the wall. And then you run into the wall. So, but you said something about selfish.
Right, for showing up for you first. Yes, and I share that. What?
I was saying, I just wanted to say you mentioned about being selfish, right? And that's not selfish, right? See, I don't claim, because what we're trying to do, what you can look at everybody, a lot of people on here, right? You look at Mr. Ryan King, who's really stepped outside his comfort zone. Oh, yeah, you look at Stacy. You look at hey, Jeffrey's on here. Good evening, Jeffrey. We have to be selfish, because and it's selfish not in a bad way. We are trying to perform at our highest level so we can truly serve. That's why we're being selfish with ourselves and building ourselves. Because to be honest with you, you can't serve the way you want to serve if you're dried up, ran out, and tired, exhausted, frustrated, grumpy, right? Because you're just not going to be able to serve the people with high quality input and effort the way you need to, right? Because sometimes somebody only needs one word, and if you're feeding them from frustration or exhaustion, then that one word might not come when they need it, and you could really set people back. So when we're playing with people's lives, like, I know I take it very seriously. Because I know that some people, they don't get this type of information from their family and their closest friends, which is why they have coaches or mentors. So I think being a little bit selfish with our time and filling our cup and loving ourselves so we can truly serve other people is perfect. What's up, Angel? So anyways, I
mentioned that because I'm looking at a lot of the names here, and I know a lot of people here also struggle with that, because we're not raised in a way where that wasn't the message. The message of you go first wasn't the message, so you tend to neglect yourself. and I just want to say, like, ever since every year that passes, I doing it better and more, better and more. And the more I do that, the happier I feel. Even, and let me explain something. Being happy doesn't mean that the outside circumstances are okay. What it means is that I'm happy because I'm doing something that's authentic with me, that's aligned with me and my purpose and my values and my ideas and who I truly am. And that's what I'm really referring to, is just to live in a way where you're being truthful with yourself. You're not avoiding situations. You're not avoiding your thoughts and your feelings and all of that. And you're ultra aware and ultra paying attention. And then you have the courage to live in a way where you're honoring yourself. So that's what I'm talking about. I know a lot of people here struggle with that. And I that's why I'm talking about that too. And I'm bringing that up. And it just really took for me to start being courageous enough to step forward and do what I thought was right for me. And it's okay to make mistakes. But when you step forward, maybe you have people around you that are going to go, oh, you're going to do it, but you're going to mess up. Or what if something goes wrong? Well, you know what? That's okay too. It's okay to step forward and fall and trip and do all those things, because those are your mistakes, and you're entitled to your mistakes because you're entitled to your learning process. So it's okay to step forward and trip and make a mistake and get up and then redo it in a different way. So making the possibility of messing up shouldn't be the thing that stops you. It shouldn't be that should be actually expected. It should be expected that when you step forward, you're gonna trip on yourself a couple times before you get it right. And then when you get it right, you might change it and change your mind and do a whole other thing that you're gonna trip all over yourself all over again. And we're actually talking about thoughts, Raymond, because these are the thoughts that go, oh, I shouldn't do that because I'm gonna mess it up, and then this person's gonna be right, or that person.
Why did you do that to me like that? We're actually doing that, Raymond. What did I do?
You were not paying attention.
I'm
Raymond,
super paying.
Raymond, pay attention.
I'm paying attention. Look. You know how I am with trying to read comments and pay attention. See, you always want to put me on the spot. Like the whole master class, I felt so guilty because I couldn't.
Are you gonna whine in front of the whole entire public listening to you cry about that? Like, come on. Like, every time I say something, you start whining and saying like,
I hope somebody lets the air out of your tire.
You don't even know where I live.
I didn't say me.
You don't even know my address. You don't even know my address. And
I didn't say me.
I know your address.
Listen. I truly believe, and I've heard this before, is, you know, most of us are run by our habits. The habits that we have up to this point run our lives, right? So if we're not getting up when we tell ourselves we're going to get up, right? Thank you, Jody. See, Jody feels bad for me.
Jody, don't.
So the reason why it's so hard for us to change our behaviors is because we're not changing the habits. We got to get into the right habits, right? And we have to think of these habits. What habits are going to get me closer to my goals? What habits are going to get me closer to waking up? What habits are you truly going to get into your life that's actually going to move you forward in the right behavior, right? Because if we don't have the right habits, then we're going to have the wrong behavior. If we have the wrong behavior, we'll never get the right results. And if we don't get the right results, again, that's something that leads to frustration, depression, anxiety, anger. These are the things that we can avoid if we truly change the habits that we've had up to this point.
And you know that thoughts are habits too, because we have habitual ways. Are you talking to me? We have habitual ways of thinking about things. Like when something happens, we have a habitual way of responding to that thing, whether it's on our habits or our emotions. Like if someone cuts us off in the street, we have a habitual way of responding to that we will do over and over again every time that someone cuts us off. Meanwhile, someone else might not have a response, but we have habitual ways of responding to things, and it starts with our thoughts. The meaning that we give to things is the habitual way that we respond to things. So that's what we got to be paying attention to. And that's just the root. That's the root of everything else. The thoughts that we have about things, the meaning that we give to situations, the meaning that we give to an incident. You know, and then from there, we again, like the masterclass that we talked about, from there you take the emotions that are attached to those meanings, and then those emotions make us act in a particular way or not act and avoid, and then it just keeps going. That's what I wrote today regarding this class, our live today, that our thoughts are ultimately what creates our destiny. So think about it, guys. Like, what thoughts, what habitual thoughts you have, or what thoughts do you have, that some of those that you need to get rid of? What are some thoughts that you have that are anchoring you down into an old pattern that no longer serves you? And also, I have another question for everybody. I have a question for you. You talked a lot at the beginning.
I was
Raymond,
raising my hand like you do. You didn't even acknowledge
I have
me.
a really good question that I want everyone to think about. Are your thoughts in the past, in the present, or in the future? Like, where are you living? Because some of us, our body's here, but our mind is in what happened to us way back when. So if your mind is where on something that happened to you way back when, that means you're more than likely very depressed. Because when we're thinking about the past, we're depressed. When we're thinking about what happened to us and we're victims and all of that stuff, we start feeling depressed. If your thought is in the future and not in a positive way, because we could be visualizing the future in a positive way, and that's very exciting. But if your thoughts are in the future about, oh my God, what's going to happen? What if I do this? And then you start doing that to yourself, then that's anxiety and worry. So where we really need to be is right here in the present and make our best choice right here in the present. Guys, I don't know if you noticed that Raymond is laughing at everything I'm saying, but I'm just going to keep going because I'm serving you guys. And apparently I'm serving him with jokes. But
You're just talking so fast right now.
Ryan, your thoughts are in the past. Ask yourself, are you depressed most of the time? Because the more we live in the past, the more depressed we feel. So I want you to, like, even write it down. Write it down. Past equals depression. Future equals anxiety. The present is the only moment that we could truly, truly control and make a decision in. And your decisions, the thing is that we make this based off, if I do X today, what's going to happen in 3 months? Therefore, you're living in the future. I mean, yeah, in the future. So we need to make decisions on what is aligned with us today. What is the correct decision? What are the right thoughts for us today? And pay attention to these, because if you notice, your thoughts, most people have thoughts. Most people live in the past, and a lot of people live in the present. But rarely do we really live. I mean, not in the present, in the future. Rarely do we live in this moment, because this moment is amazing. Like, we're good right now. Most of us here have a roof over our head, have air conditioning, our clothes is washed, we have enough food, we have a couple people that we could call friends, and if you're here, you could call me a friend, so I know you're good. So right now, this moment is amazing. So ask yourself, what's really the issue right now in this moment? What's really the issue, Raymond? Wake up, Raymond.
I raised my hand 5 minutes ago.
Huh?
When you raise your hand, me and Carrie call on you.
I just wanted to make that point, because I want people to catch themselves. I want you to catch yourself when you're in the past or in the future, and then stop it. Like, number one thing is you have to be aware of it. You can't just sink into that hole of, oh, what happened to me?
The bottomless pit.
Yeah, you can't allow yourself to sink into that hole, or you can't allow yourself to do. You have to train yourself to bring yourself to the current and ask yourself what's really happening right now. Because right now, I bet you're good. I bet you right now you're good. I bet you're on a sofa, very comfy. I bet you half the people that are so comfy, and they're like, you're comfy too, aren't you? You're just not doing anything. You're just there.
What do you mean? What do you mean I'm not doing anything? I'm waiting for you to stop spewing.
All right, go, your turn. Look, Stacy says I'm in flow, and you're not letting me be in flow.
I'm not. Stacy. Oh man, women stick together. Well, anyways,
Elkie was defending you a little while ago.
Elkie's my buddy. Elkie's always knows that, you know, the Cubans are just, you know, hostile, and I'm just using your words, by the way. That's what you tell me all the time.
Well,
so
Elkie was on your side until you started saying that.
Well, you know what? This is what you guys tell me all the time. How many of you have heard her talk about how Cubans are over and over and over again? And then when you say something, she's like, oh, that's, right? So anyways, listen, guys. This is when she was talking 100 miles an hour. What I was thinking about is when she was talking about thoughts. A lot of times, our habitual thoughts are other people's, though. I really
Yes.
want you guys to think about that. Is how often are you around a group of people and you begin to behave like them, not even knowing that you are, or not even truly wanting to sometimes? Or how many times do you get around people and they get to talking and you have one opinion, but you're afraid to use it, so you use someone else's opinion or thought? See, that's not good, because what you're doing is you're lying to your true, authentic self. And when you start to lie to yourself and put those lying thoughts, I don't really know I call them lying thoughts, right, into your mind, you begin to build this wall up that you got to constantly attack and break down, rebuild it, break it down, rebuild it, break it down, rebuild it, because you're not using your own thoughts. So I wanted to say, while she was talking, I think that's so important to understand, where are these thoughts even coming from? Are they actually coming? Are you listening to me and Sarai? Are you listening to a Tony Robbins? Are you listening to a TD Jakes? Are you listening to a pastor? Are you reading a book? But the key is as you listen, as you read, are you implementing into your own thought, right? You don't have to agree with everything me and Sarai talk about, right? We want to have dialogue. We want to have people who don't think the same. That's what makes life so interesting. The problem we have in the world is we want everybody to think, act, and know everything we do. Well, I don't want to know everything that Sarai does, because I can't. It I have a different, like, she's like, that's her space, so I rely on her to give educated answers. I'm a ball of fire, so I'm just going to give you I'm going to give you spiritual fire answers that I think is going to serve the people. The other thing is sometimes when she was talking about the past, present, and future, so I kind of agree to disagree a little bit, right? Because I want to be confrontational right now, right? So I do, like, I truly believe, right? Look, our past is so important, right? Our past, what's happened to us, the things we went through are so important not to drag along. It's to understand that those things are going to help us and catapult us into that true, authentic person to serve the way we need to serve. We cannot serve people if we completely push our past behind us. But the things, we have to show forgiveness, we have to show grace, we have to show mercy, and we can't allow the past to be detrimental to our present. But at the same time, as we're living in the present, we better use our imagination for our dream in our future. It's the whole thing. It's Stephen Covey talks about living with the end in mind, right? So we have to know where our future lies. We have to speak our future into existence while we build it in the present moment, right? Don't live in the future, build for the future. Don't live in the future, build for the future. Because when you know where you're going and you can implement the direction to get there, you won't worry so much about the future, because you already know you're going there, right? So that's kind of like where I'm at, is use the past which you can. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Take some of those things that's going to be detrimental to your story and your growth and serving other people. Use your present time to build your future dream, right? And chase after that with the plan that you have put into place, so you can live your present life the best you possibly can. And don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. But no, we're not even going to answer that little raised hand, because she didn't answer me. So this is what I want to say. Change your response until you get the outcome you want. Consistently change your response until the outcome you want starts to come up. I hope that makes sense. Consistently move forward, right?
I was gonna talk. I was gonna start talking.
I was ready.
All right. So what I'm referring to about,
I mean, if you don't want to talk, I can start talking.
What I'm referring to about the past, I agree with what you're saying, by the way. Like, that's very true. Like, we need to extract what we need to extract from our experiences to help us thrive, because we need to actually go through those experiences to become who we are. I'm referring to people that have more of a victim mindset, that live in the past. Like, their body is experiencing everything that happened in the past. They're experiencing it as if it's happening right now, because it's like they're living there. They're still experiencing it, thinking about it, dwelling on it, and that's not very helpful or useful. So that's really what I was referring to.
Don't change it now.
That wasn't what I was referring to. But we need to have, like, now that we're all grown up, and now that we're all here, because it's the same people. We have the same people showing up every week on our podcast. So every week that you guys are here, this is another experience and reminder, what wake up call, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes, guys, doing this serves us too, because just the fact that we got to prepare for you guys makes us study this, and the fact that we need to study this and talk about it, we affirm it for ourselves at our core. So we need to hear this as well, because sometimes we all might be in a situation where we get stuck in the past, or we start worrying about the future, or whatever's happening, and we need a kick in the butt also that says, hey, wake up, get out of that spot. It's not helpful to us. It's not helpful to our progress. It's not helpful to anything that we're trying to really accomplish. It's actually just like a huge waste of time that we could be using in our goals. We could be using this time, instead of worrying or being depressed because of the past, we could be really being more grateful, trying to expand on our thoughts, and doing higher level, let's call it higher level intelligence or higher level expansion type of things, because everything else is just shrinking us. Have you guys noticed how Raymond is not paying attention?
What do you mean? I am paying attention.
You're looking behind, you're looking at your phone, you're looking everywhere. We need a podcast room. We need a podcast room where you're not able to do all these other things.
Well, I am a father, and I have a son that just walked in the door. Like, this is real life stuff going on right here, man. And then I had to text my daughters and tell them to get their little tookuses home. I'm not whining. You called me out.
I'm just playing the violin for you. Look at the violin playing. You see the little baby violin?
He's playing a baby violin for you. Whatever.
All right. So
anyways, guys, let's talk. Let's real talk. We've heard enough. So look. I'm gonna say something really honest with thoughts, right? Is everybody has a particular thought of, like, a direction. This is what I want. This is I don't even think people say, but people have thoughts, right? I'd like to get that job. I'd like to get that girl. I'd like to get that car. We always have these thoughts, but we put no application behind the thoughts, right? So we have these thoughts with no application. So we can have great thoughts, but great thoughts without applying the work behind it, it leads to nothing. You don't get anything for just thinking, though, right? That's why I always tell people, like, be careful what you think of, because if it doesn't come true, then it leads to that frustration again. But you can't get frustrated over something you're not willing to work for. Being an entrepreneur, building a network business, building a coaching business, building an art studio, becoming an author, whatever it is work. None of that stuff comes to fruition if you are not applying it on a daily basis, right? So my girl Crystal here, she's an entrepreneur and a business owner, right? She can't take days off and not tell nobody, right? She needs to make sure that people know what direction they're going, right? She needs to constantly be aware of what people's needs are. Now, she could take a vacation, but she can't just not show up, right? See, you cannot just not show up in what you do, whether it's your marriage, whether it's you being a parent, whether it's you being a coach in an athletic program, whether it's you being a coach towards somebody, helping them to achieve goals. See, if we don't show up, they don't reach their full potential. because they start to see that you're not serious about it. See, it's like canceling meeting after meeting, or it's somebody who's telling you I'll be there at 8 and they're there at 8:30 all the time. You will start to take a hit. Their thoughts of you will start to change real fast. They'll start to think, man, that person's really not who they say they are, or that person's really not follow through, man. They say one thing, but they're not doing another thing. And I'm not telling you. So this is because, I always have to say something that's kind of controversial. So the bottom line is this: winners are those people that make a habit of doing the things that losers are uncomfortable doing. Don't shoot me, but that's the truth. The people with the big thinking that applies the action, they're the ones. Not that there's like people are actual losers. There are people who just do loser things, but I'm talking in general. It's not that they're losers, it's that they have chosen to lose in life. They have not decided to take the bull by the horn and say, this is my life, this is what I want, and I'm going to spend the rest of my time going out and getting it. Because what you'll start to realize as you start to move forward, you'll start to realize it's not all about money. It's not all about X's and O's and cars and clothes and vacations. What it's about earning and leveraging the time that you've been given on this earth so you can truly bless other people that were just like you. Because as you start to build a business, you'll start to see other people and you'll be like, wow, that reminds me of me. I really want to help them. But see, when you're stuck in these thoughts and this loser's mindset, see, this is winners flat out just go out and win. Winners see a need, they fill a need. Losers see a need and they back away from the opportunity because it doesn't look like they think it should look. See, most people want success to be a straight line. They want it to be a straight line to that mountain, right? But people forgot that there's jagged edges and there's freaking snow falling off and there's branches smacking you in your face. Like, man, this entrepreneur thing, this business thing, this building a great marriage thing, this having great children thing, this leading people in the right direction thing is a tough job. And if your thoughts are not in it and you are not having habitual thoughts that are in positive motion, applied action on a daily basis, I'm just going to tell you, you will fail. You will fail, you will fall, and some of you will not get back up and try again.
I agree. I'm like, what he said. It's what he said. Instant gratification. Yes, exactly. How many of you have made a decision and maybe made a decision a few years back, but still haven't made a move on it? Think about that question. How many of us make decisions? Maybe it's the decision to start going to the gym, or maybe it's the decision, I don't know, what other decisions, like, I don't know, any kind of decision. It doesn't even have to be
business. It's home-based business.
I'm going to start going to school someday, and like something Tony Robbins says is the road of someday leads to the land of nowhere. Because anything we don't schedule, anything we don't take action on, anything we leave for someday is just, it's like throwing like feathers in the air. It's like nothing. So think about that. How many decisions or what decisions have you made that you really want to come through? It could be just to start showing up more on well, look, I was talking to someone today who really wants to be like an inspirational, motivational type speaker and all of this. So I was like,
right now.
So I said, okay, start showing up through just doing posts, just written posts. And, even a small step in the direction of that you're trying to aim at is an action. That is a radical action. So I'm blowing this up. What decision
keep going, Crystal, keep going. I love you engaging, Crystal. That's boss lady. I'm telling you right now, that's my buddy right there. That's one of my best buds.
I want everyone to think, what decision are you sitting on that I would like to see you execute that decision like in the next 4 months, so that when the beginning of the year starts, you could say, I finally got it done. I finally got started on that. And it doesn't mean that it's going to come, it doesn't mean that you're going to complete the whole decision and get and goal. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that you're going to be making progress. And true happiness doesn't come from landing on the spot that you want to land on and putting a flag down. That's not where you get happiness from. Happiness comes from the progress and watching yourself do things and then feeling confident of, wow, I actually did that. And that felt so good. Like, how many times did you actually, Raymond, how many times have you taken action on something that you really wanted and you take action and then you're like, man, I finally did it. It feels so good that I finally did it. Like, how many times has that happened? Has that happened to you?
Like in my life or recently?
Okay, let's say recently. Recently,
it's just like starting, like really going after this course, the master class. You know, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. The master class, as much as I like to talk, that was more of a real, like, powerful teaching talk. So I was really nervous, but you know what I mean? You know, once I got it out, I felt like, wow, this was amazing. Like, and I'm not saying it to sound conceited, but I'm like, I was really impressed that I was able to display, because you guys know I'm a ball of fire, but to able to really, so, but anyways, it feels good to actually apply the things that you're taught. When you sit on those things that you're taught, man, oh my gosh, it can go crazy.
I used to be the type of person that I would plan something out. I would type up a whole paper and everything, and literally 2-3 years will go by, and I wouldn't do anything. It would just be on paper. Like, when you actually take action, like, things, it's like the universe just brings things, draws everything to you that you need. So the more you go towards it, the more you're gonna get all the resources that you need coming towards you, and that's just so incredible. That's just so incredible. I get really excited about that because, like, now that I know the power of that, I just want you guys to, like, just try it. Just try to take some action towards whatever things it is that you want, and watch what happens. Because and then tell us, like, your testimony, because it really does happen that way. The minute you start saying yes, and the minute you start moving forward with those things that are planted inside of you, everything will change around. Everything will change.
Yes. You know, it's I think I don't know. I think her name was Jenny something when we did that 5-day branding course, right? It was called Build Your Brand, and it was Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi. It was Russell Brunson, and 3 just amazing guys. I mean, Tony Robbins is just, I mean, he's been doing it for 43 years. A lot of people, you know, have been, the guy has helped over, I don't know, 30 million people. It's just ridiculous. But they had a lady on there, I think her name was Jenny, and she talked about breadcrumbing, right? She talked about breadcrumbing. And did you hear that one when she talked about breadcrumbing?
Yeah, Jenna.
So it's Jenna. And I mean, like, I'm not saying like she was like my cup of tea, where like it's somebody that I would listen to on a regular basis, because everybody's got their favorites. But she had some real powerful things. And this woman has become a multi-millionaire by being her true self. Like, yeah. I'm talking about, when I say true self, like cereal on her shirt, like pajama bottoms, like, but like, she knows her stuff. And she talked about breadcrumbing, and breadcrumbing is just, I think, especially in the coaching industry, people misinform themselves with what a life coach, what a coach is compared to a mentor, right? A coach is somebody who truly is, whether you see, you're going to pay. I'm just going to say this, right? You are going to pay a great fee in your life. You're either going to pay for a fee for a coach that's going to get you where you want to go, or you're going to spend a lot of money spinning in circles, never getting to the destination because you don't know what you're aiming for. See, a coach is somebody who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way, right? They partner up with you. They give your accountability partner. They continue to remind you of what you told them you wanted, and they won't cut you any slack. No matter what happens, they will empathize with you and sympathize with you, but they're not going to sit on the sideline and see you lose unless you choose to lose, right? Coaches ain't somebody who's supposed to constantly pick you up. That's what we give you so you can pick yourself up. And then you come to your coach, and we help you get from this point to this point. And then when you get to this point, see what coaches do, right? So when you go from this point to this point, we're already here. So we're already setting up the next point for you to go to, right? See, in life, no matter what you're doing, when you're building a business, when you're running anything, you don't settle. Good night, Jody. You don't settle. You don't sit. You move from one goal to one goal. And when you get to that goal, celebrate it. That's why I talk about the rewards. You have to know what you're aiming for. And there's got to be a reward attached to it. Do not try to cut yourself short. Reward yourself. But when you reward yourself, that next goal should be set. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at the comments. That's what I'm laughing. I'm just looking at the comments.
I'm gonna karate chop you.
Zori said,
did you guys know that you can learn more, but you can never learn less?
Oh wow, that was you know what, that is so true, but sounds so Did you guys know?
But I'm serious. I'm so serious. We can learn more, but we can never learn less. But when we're not willing to do anything, that makes us look foolish. That's foolishness. That's foolery. I don't want to live in foolery. So weird. Oh my gosh. You're so weird. That is Ray words. See, Crystal knows I use Ray words.
Who no longer wants to live in foolery? No living in foolery, people. No living in foolery. All right, so who is ready to take radical action this week in their life? Who is ready and who has done it this week? Let us know. We should totally do this on Zoom because I want to see people's faces. I want to see people's faces, and I want them to be like saying,
"You can't do a podcast on Zoom." The whole purpose of this is to eventually create a podcast that can affect out to the masses. We can't do that on Zoom.
Out to the masses, not out to the masses.
No, masses spreads out like this. The ripple. What happens when you throw a rock in the water?
It has ripple effects.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't just go one way. It spreads out like this.
Yeah, I could see that exactly. I saw exactly what you were doing. Mimi, did you take radical action this week? Laura has been taking radical action for sure. I don't. Who else has been taking radical action this week?
Me.
I know. I have to. Yeah, Raymond has to. He's so tired. That's why you've been like half the time when I talk, you're stuck going like this. Hey guys. Do you guys like my new microphone? Can anybody see it? Look, I'm ready for my, wait, let me fix it. I'm ready for my podcast.
Nope.
Are you ready, Raymond? Are you ready for the podcast? Dun, dun, dun. I didn't have it on today because I didn't know how to turn it on. Rhonda, what is it, Rhonda? Look, I have the microphone, but I don't know how to turn it on. I got to figure that out.
There's one. I think there's Rhonda one critical
action. Angie
Rhonda did. Amy did. MJ's been working on her stuff. Listen. So I want you guys to understand that I want you to give yourself permission to make mistakes. Like, this process is not an easy process. Changing lives, building a business, serving your family at such a high level, it's not an easy process. So allow yourself to make mistakes, right? You owe yourself permission to make mistakes, because only in the mistakes are you going to learn how to correct them. What was it, Thomas Edison, when they asked him, isn't it frustrating and discouraging that you failed 1,000 times? He said, absolutely not. I just know 1,000 ways not to do it now. Like, how many of you guys, like, how many of you are willing to fail 1,000 freaking times to live your dream?
But also along the way in the mistakes, don't you, like, you get so much more. Like, you meet people, you learn so many different things. You get like so many experiences from doing that. Like, mistakes are awesome.
I love it when you say doing that.
that. I put out an offer for a 3-month of coaching for 3 people in turn for feedback on my program. Whoa, that's
Rhonda, that is
awesome.
amazing.
Her
Rhonda,
beta
like that
program.
right there is
Her beta
amazing.
program.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that's
I love it.
awesome.
That right there. That's not just action. That's radical action.
That is radical
amazing.
action. That is
Very
radical
good.
action.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very, very, very good. I was about to bust a rap.
Zori was not in our class. If you
Yes,
don't try,
Zori was not.
that's
Zori,
awesome.
Zori had to work, but I know Zori's making big steps. Zori's taking big steps. So Zori, you got to tell everybody. See, you got to post. You got to send the link. We got to get you some sales. Zori's got some pretty clothes. I wouldn't wear them.
Her pictures are awesome. I love her the pictures that she's doing. She's doing that herself, and they're coming out really good.
Zori's a beast, man. Look, all she needed to do was cross over that little ledge that had her kind of slipping, kind of stepping back and not fully emerging. Now that she's emerging and the sales start coming in, you're just going to want to keep, especially, man, when people start appreciating what you do and the work you put in and how they look in their own skin. I mean, when you start to really serve and help people feel good in their, that's what's so good about coaching. When people truly start to overcome, when people truly start to see things clicking, when people truly start to see themselves as they never could have imagined, they start to overcome some of these broken and these traumatic situations in their life. I mean, that is amazing, guys. That is amazing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, it is 8:45, 8:46.
Are we gonna do like closing statements?
It's time to say goodnight. Maybe we need like a little jingle.
Jingle, jingle, jingle. Are we gonna do closing statements? We should do closing statements.
Closing statements. Okay, let me hear yours.
I don't know. I was trying to get my thoughts together. I've been taking like little notes, so I can. I was actually I was taking notes so I could pick on you later.
So you don't only pick on me on the call. All right. So Rhonda says this past weekend changed my life. Awesome, Rhonda. Yeah.
That's a blessing for us. Zori posted her link. You guys go check Zori's link.
Laura says it went so fast today, but we've been an hour. Because we're here an hour and a half, and today's been an hour.
Obviously.
You just froze.
I froze?
There. Okay, I got you back. All right.
Did you freeze everyone? Did you pause me on purpose?
What? I wish I had that power. On purpose. I wish I had that power.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Okay, so my closing statement is, guys, to focus on the present. Don't allow for your mind to wander into anxiety of what will happen in the future or what already happened in the past. Just live in the moment, make decisions and do things in the present moment that are aligned with your truth today. And then tomorrow you make decisions on what's aligned with your truth tomorrow, and you take it day by day. We cannot live 3 months from now because half the time what we think about in 3 months don't even happen. Half of our worries, or not even half, like probably 80 to 90% of our worries don't actually ever happen. And then we fail to live our life in the most authentic way possible when we start trying to get ahead of ourselves. Then the only day given to us is today. So live today as truthful and as honest as you can, and honest with yourself. And that's my most important message that I have to give. It's probably a message I'm telling myself right now. I was speaking to myself.
Where are all the guys at, though? That's what I want to know. There's, and I love my ladies. I love my ladies. You guys are the best. You guys are queens. But I'm always wondering, where are all the guys at this hour of night? Because I'm telling you right now. I'm just telling you right now. The reason, I'm gonna tell you, women are so ready to take that next step in life. It seems to me that so many more women are ready to level up, and the men are just sitting by waiting for something to happen.
I mean,
maybe it's just me.
Well, if this was a room, look, think about this. If this was a room of all of us, you'd be the only guy right now. You'd be in a room full of girls.
Well, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with that, right? But
Ryan was here earlier, and this new guy.
I want to be. Jeffrey was here. I want to be like, but that's the thing. Is in order. Like, I don't expect everybody to stick with us an hour. Yeah, I really do. Like, come on, we're entertaining. But
I mean, we're here an hour. Everybody needs to be here an hour too.
No, I just, and maybe it's me, but I see, like, when you look at home-based businesses, right? When you look at network marketing and stuff like that, you know, it's like 80% of six-figure women earners are in the home-based business industry. Like, that is a huge, staggering number, right?
Because we rock.
Well, absolutely. Because they understand that I haven't lived the way I wanted to. I know there's more. I've been a mom for so long. I want to take the next step. I want a journey. And the men are just like, I don't really know what I want to do. You know, like, get a job.
I just want to play video games.
They're not that bad. I know some great men, but it just seems like I know so many men who tell me they want to level up, but they're not doing the work to level up. Right. So I commend all you ladies. But for me, I think the last thing is, before we leave, is I want to talk about, you know, the chances are in life, right? Chances are what you really want out of life wants you to.
Ooh,
like,
that was good.
What you really want out of life wants
type that
you to. So if you think about that, whatever you're truly so passionate about and you have massive potential, right? There lies your purpose in life, right? So the chances are what you really want wants you to. But the key is you have to decide what you want. So those are two things I truly want you to think about tonight. And wherever you're at, I really want you to lean into this thing. Lean into this thing.
Lean. Lean into it, people.
So again, remember that the thing that you're avoiding is the thing that you desire. And the thing that you desire is desiring you too. That's that connection. But unless you're willing to do the work, look, know things. You guys know, right? God cannot reward you for work you're unwilling to do. He can't. And even when you start the process, it'll be the toughest thing you ever did, because God wants to mold you, right? Every woman on here, every man, God wants to perfect you to become the ultimate you can be, so you can serve his people truly. Right? Crystal said, I don't know what I want. You, girl, we already know. You're just a boss.
What happened?
Huh?
It's just that you're freezing up.
You're freezing up.
I swear, if you scream at me one more time, my hands are gonna go in there and like that.
I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? You know, I'm gonna send you one of those little gifts, and when you open it, that little spring fist comes out of it.
That just gave me an idea to do to you.
She's getting the nut. Crystal said she's getting the nunchucks.
Well, I just have my. That's what I have.
If you punch me like that, you're gonna break your wrist. What kind of punch was that? Was that a Cuban punch?
There you go again. You heard that, Laura? You heard that, Elkie? You heard?
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so guys, I hope you know, I'll promise you that, you know, our consistency is important to us. So we want to make sure that we do come every Wednesday night, and those who can tie in, we always respect it. We hope we give you maximum value. Most important thing, as I always say, is I really want to get you guys to think. I want you to have optimal thinking, right? Optimal thinking. I want you to think so far outside the box and so unrealistic to the normal person, The only way that we're going to create, right? We can't get involved in this political nightmare. We can't get involved with this unless you're called to do that, right? But we can't get involved with this whole virus thing. We can't get involved with who many people are unemployed. We can't get involved in all that because it takes us off of what we're truly gifted to do, and that's to serve people what God has called us to serve them in. So we have to have this optimal outlook on the people we serve. We have seriously got to stop worrying about the outside sources, the naysayers, the haters, the people that not staying with us or with us. And we got to step back and look, you know what? I don't care what they say about me or what they're doing, because what they're doing is good. You still bless them, pray for them. But what you got to understand is you got one thing in life, and that's actually to truly live your best life, right? The old saying is your life is a gift from God, and what you do with your life is a gift back to God. Make sure when God unpacks that gift, that is a gift worth giving to God. Keep that in your mind, and then let's live outside the box, and let's start to pursue something that it's got to be so big, so crazy, so audacious that only God can help you get it. So with that, I can go on a whole nother hour because I'm super freaking excited right now.
You are. All right, guys, have an awesome night. If you want us to talk about anything in particular next week, send us a message, either Raymond or I. Send us a message letting us know.
Like Raymond and I thought it was Raymond and me.
What? Anyway, I have no idea what he's saying. But
what are you saying?
I said Raymond and I. You're Raymond and I am I. Message us and let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about next week. Are you gonna dance?
Thank you, Crystal, for tuning in, boss lady. Thank you, everybody. Love you.
Good night,
I gotta live to the mic turns off.
Good night, Laura. Good night, Angel. I said Angie.
Myself when the rest got lost. I'll be the last one.
Good night, everyone.
Imagination is greater than public education. Quotation. And never let your dreams be taken.
Alexandra. Mimi, Dory, everything.
See you, Rhonda. Way to take massive action, Rhonda. I love it.
Yes,
Good night,
yes.
Thank you. Good night, Laura.
Good night.
Boss lady, love you.